believe I can get on the pavement. I hate this, so much dust, you know, like I definitely need to take a shower. So loading was pretty quick, only took me 6 hours. I think, you know, like the longer you do this heavy haul stuff, the better you become, you know. So piece of cake. Arrived 11 o'clock Eastern time, leaving 5 o'clock Eastern time, you know. I feel pretty good about myself. Wow. Finally. I'm gonna stop here. And because of this movement, this is a very good time to check all the chains. And I'll show you guys, because I didn't show you before, right? I'll show you how I secured everything. And but I cannot stay too long. I have 40 minutes to get to. I have 40 minutes to get to a truck stop because there's a curfew. Now it's 3:21. Local time. Curfew starts at 4. But I only have 15 miles to the truck stop to go. Well, I found the parking off the beaten track, but I cannot go into a regular, you know, parking lot. Check out that guy over there in the distance. Swift, of course. His truck is at a 900-degree angle at the trailer. This is a new Love's truck stop. So he's gonna lose that trailer because the front wall of the trailer is parallel to the door of his truck. You know what I mean? Like, so the rear tires are just sliding when you do it like that. It's like unbelievable. If this was my truck and I had a company guy driving like that, I would fire him on the spot, you know, because this is just no respect for the equipment. Well, first of all, it's tires, right? You're dragging tires because at this angle then they cannot spin. And secondly, you can rip off your extenders on the sleeper, you know. So Swift truck 170768, best in class. That's what it says on the back. Best in class. I hope he doesn't decide to park next to me. But I asked the lady inside. I said, I'm sorry, like I have an oversized load. Is it okay if I park here? Because I saw this when I was coming like this. It's like very narrow, boulders everywhere. Well, this is Colorado, right? So there's boulders, rocks all over the place, but you can come in like this and then you go into the scale, and then I went like this, flip like this, and back in here. So, and she says, yeah, as long as you don't block anybody and you're not in the fire lane. See, that's the fire lane, but I'm pretty sure somebody will park there. She says you should be okay. And there's 2 rows of trucks in here like this and over there, and so I made sure that the rear of my trailer pretty much ends where this piece of dirt ends. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to show you guys, so this video is only going to be long, so it'll take me forever to edit it, and then of course nobody will watch it. All right, check this out. What is this? TLG Pete 4-axle truck. Very old, everything is rusted. Anyway, so that's what I mean. The last thing I wanted to show you guys, and you see, this is what happens when you don't have that flip neck. See, like my kingpin is now like an inch forward of drive axle 1, right? And still I only get this much, 13.3 on the front, whereas before, when I had the flip box on that 55-ton Fontaine, I would move it like 6 inches and I could get 18,000 pounds over here if I want to, you know. And you see my math kind of like worked. You see, like 58, but just what did I thought it would be, hold on, check this out. I thought it would be 56. Yeah, it was supposed to be 56 over here on the pusher and drives. It was supposed to be 67 in the back, so instead we have 65 on the trailer, but so 2,000 pound difference, just a bit less, right? But 2,000 went to the truck. You see this? So instead of 56 we have 58, and instead of 67 on the trailer we have 65, which means, again, I counted everything properly, but this just means that I'm pretty sure the machine is heavier on the front. And actually I was thinking about that, because like towards me, the way it's you can see in the mirror, because that's where the engine is, you know. Like I looked, and this thing has a super huge cat, I forgot, 750 horsepower or 850 horsepower, some crazy engine, you know, what they put in these things, right? And I figured, and plus there's like a boom in the front with all the probably like hydraulic, I'm guessing, yeah, it has hydraulic tank in there, right? Because everything is hydraulic. And I was thinking that maybe the front is heavier. And then I look in the back, and the back they have these cylinders that kind of like a steel conveyor belt, and I thought, no, that should be heavy as well. But I'm glad that I'm cool. You see, I'm cool. That means that I'm okay everywhere, because my concern was, so Colorado gives me 72,000 pounds, but Kansas gives me 65, I think, actually. So I would even be okay in Kansas. Well, just 180 pounds, that's nothing. And Nebraska gives me 70,000 pounds on the back, you know. And so I was really concerned that I would have either too much over here or too much over here, and I really didn't look forward to rechaining, you know, like rechaining, and then I have to call the guy guide me again through the starting procedure, because you have to pair that remote. But anyway, somehow I did it. Somehow it didn't fall off, you know. Like, remember that old video where the guy was loading in Cambridge and one track just fall off? But this thing, you know, I dropped the speed to like the slowest possible, and it's just easy, you know. But again, this one, yeah, there's no it's just buttons, right? You saw that. So just buttons. You cannot control the amount of force, you know. I really don't like this. Like I was hoping to get something like a stick, and then you push it all the way forward, it goes fast. You push it halfway forward, it goes slow. But what they do is they have these, right? And you see over here, actually, that's what the guy was explaining to me. See, there's track and there's arrows forward, so that's forward, and this is arrows back, this is back, and that's all I use pretty much, you know. And he said I had to do this somewhere here. I see, like, yeah, I would need somebody to tell me if I was doing it again. You know, I'm okay. You see, like driving, it's like a video game. You just push buttons, right? And just make sure it's properly centered. But just the starting, and especially pairing, because it's all wireless, right? There's no cables. But pairing this thing with the machine, because there was a sequence. He was telling me on the phone. He says, push this button now, wait for kind of like 4 long signals, like beeping tones, and then push this. But I have the guy's cell number, so okay. And the math did help, you know. And you saw that the center of the track was like 2 feet away from my light. You know, usually that's what I look at, right? Like the light in the center. And still I got more on the drives than on the trailer, so I should have went a bit more, but like there's no telling, you know. Like to me it looked okay. It's very high wind, and the weather changed. Before it was all like blue sky, and now north of us people are dying over there in the snowstorm in Denver. But over here it's just high wind advisory is in effect. That's why I parked. That's it. And it's raining on and off. Not a good weather for you know, heavy haul. And speaking about lights, yeah, there's definitely something with that connector. You know, when I was trying desperately to disconnect it yesterday, I probably got one of the pins loose and probably need a new connector. And thankfully there's a shop next door, right inside the Loves. I want to go talk to them, so I need them to fix the lights, and hopefully they can change 2 shocks, like I did that scientific method, you know, of feeling the shocks at the bottom after driving. And the rear 3 axles on the trailer were okay, but the first axle the shocks were totally cold. And of course that's the indication that they're done, because this trailer was like, I only had this trailer with like since November. All right, so it's not because of me, it's because it was sitting for so long, like about 2 years at the plant. I think that just the shocks, you know, probably rusted out because they were not moving, right? I really want to replace them, because bad shocks means wasted tires, right? And I just noticed that. I was thinking, shall I replace the shocks? But it's only been 6 months, but then the trailer was sitting, you know. And so that's the plan for today. So I have the scale, right? I know my weight. I'm not too heavy. Oh, by the way, since I know my last thing, last thing, I promise. Let me just see. I want to tell you the weight of the load. So 136,880. That's my gross weight. Not bad. Minus 60. Let's just say 60. I know it's less. 76,880 pounds. Wow. So they didn't lie. So if I deduct only 59, then it becomes 77.880. And that's the sticker. There's a sticker on the side of the machine which actually says this. That's exact weight. Unbelievable. You know, normally it does not happen. They always make mistakes about the weight. Interesting. All right, so stay tuned. So this is gonna be a super long trip, right? So we're gonna be crossing when the weather improves tomorrow. Colorado, Nebraska. I'm just gonna go northeast towards Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. And Michigan now, I-69 is open all the way to Port Huron. So the spring weight restrictions are lifted at 69, so I can take 69. I really hate that Ambassador Bridge. And that's it. And then I'm just going to Kitchener, 10 miles away from my parking lot in Cambridge. Thanks for watching.